Ever look up at the night sky and get that, like, what if feeling? Like, what if we didn't really land on the moon?
Oh, right.
Or what if, I don't know, the government is messing with the weather? All
Yeah.
these conspiracy theories out there, they really grab you.
Yeah, they do.
Today we're taking a deep dive into some of the biggest ones. You know, you've sent us some pretty wild theories. And, well, we're going to see what's what. AI is going to be our detective today, so buckle up.
It's true. We humans love a good mystery.
Oh, yeah.
Always looking for patterns, trying to explain things.
Absolutely.
And sometimes those explanations, well, they go a little off the beaten path.
Exactly.
Now, got to be clear, not all conspiracies are, fake.
Right.
Watergate, the Tuskegee study, those were real deals.
Oh, yeah, those were bad.
Hidden, messed up stuff.
Yeah.
But the key, the real difference, is evidence.
Evidence, yeah.
Solid proof.
Exactly.
That's what separates a true conspiracy from just, well, a wild story.
Okay, so today we're using AI and a good dose of critical thinking to see if these popular theories, well, they can stand up to the scrutiny.
Love it.
All right, first up, let's talk about the moon landing.
Okay.
Did we really take that giant leap for mankind, or was it all a big, fancy Hollywood production?
Ooh.
Some folks out there, they think it was all staged right here on Earth.
Interesting.
So let's break it down. One of the things people point to is that flag, the American flag, supposedly waving in the wind on the moon.
Right, but...
But wait, there's no wind on the moon. It's a vacuum.
Exactly. No air to move the flag.
How's it waving then?
Well, think about it. It's not really waving. The flag was attached to a telescopic pole.
Right.
And it was folded up for the trip, so it had those wrinkles.
Oh, okay.
Add to that the force of them planting the flagpole, that kind of shook it a bit, and boom!
It looks like it's waving.
Illusion, just an illusion.
Okay, so the flag thing, that's debunked. But what about those who say the whole moon landing, the entire thing, was filmed in a studio?
All right, well, let's bring in our AI detective for this one.
Right.
Think about the sheer scale of the Apollo program. Thousands and thousands of people involved. Scientists, engineers, technicians, the list goes on.
Yeah, it was a huge undertaking.
Exactly. Now, statistically speaking, keeping a secret that big with that many people for over 50 years, it's practically impossible.
Right.
AI models that study whistleblowing, they show us that secrets like that.
Yeah.
They leak. They always leak.
That's fascinating. The data doesn't lie.
Nope.
Okay, so a studio production would have been way too hard to keep quiet. But what about those retro reflectors?
Ah, yes. Those are key.
I've heard about those, but I don't really know what they are.
They're basically, think special mirrors
Okay.
left on the moon by the Apollo astronauts. Scientists use them even today, bouncing lasers off of them
Wow.
to measure the distance between the Earth and the moon super accurately.
That's incredible.
And that wouldn't work if we weren't, actually there.
Right. If the moon landing was faked, those retro reflectors wouldn't be there to bounce lasers off of.
Exactly.
All right, so the moon landing hoax. Busted. But let's come back down to Earth
Right, back to Earth.
for a conspiracy theory that hits a little closer to home. Literally.
Oh, okay.
What about chemtrails? Is the government secretly spraying us with something from airplanes?
Ooh, that's a popular one.
It is, right.
Yeah.
Fueled by anxieties about, pollution and control.
For sure.
But when we use our trusty AI and some good old-fashioned science, the evidence just isn't there. Those white trails we see up in the sky,
Yeah.
they're just contrails. It's
Yeah.
just condensed water vapor from the plains.
Exactly. High altitude, cold air, boom, you get contrails.
But some people say these trails, they linger way longer than normal contrails should, and they form weird patterns.
Right, and that's where people jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
But when you analyze atmospheric data with AI, there are no strange chemicals or anything like that.
Okay.
And think about the logistics of this supposed global spraying operation.
Right.
It would be insanely expensive and complicated, and also, wouldn't they be poisoning themselves, too? Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, the logistics of it, it's just not feasible.
Right.
Okay, so chemtrails. Another one bites the dust. Let's move on to a theory that seems to be, gaining popularity lately.
Oh, which one?
The flat Earth theory.
Oh, wow.
Despite, centuries of scientific proof that our planet is a sphere, some people believe it's a flat disk. I mean, how does this idea persist in the age of space travel and GPS?
It really is mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can actually debunk it with, everyday observations.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen a ship sailing away from the shore?
Here.
Notice how it disappears hull first? That's the curvature of the Earth. And GPS, that relies on satellites orbiting a spherical Earth. Wouldn't work on a flat plane.
Good point, good point. It's amazing how these ideas spread, isn't it? Speaking of spreading, we can't ignore the theory that took off during the COVID-19 pandemic. The idea that 5G technology caused the virus.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Fear and uncertainty. A perfect breeding ground for misinformation.
Absolutely.
But biologically speaking, viruses just don't work that way. They spread through respiratory droplets, not radio waves.
Right, basic biology debunks that one.
I think people were just, desperate for an explanation during such a chaotic time.
Understandable, really.
Yeah.
But thankfully, AI can help here too. You analyze the data globally, and there's absolutely zero correlation between 5G rollout and COVID-19 infection rates.
Right.
In fact, some of the hardest hit areas didn't even have 5G yet.
Interesting.
The data speaks for itself.
All right, let's shift gears and venture into a more, shall we say, mysterious realm.
Ooh, sounds intriguing.
Are you ready to talk about Bigfoot?
Bigfoot, always a fun one.
Is this elusive creature real or just a figment of our collective imagination?
It's fascinating how the lack of hard proof actually keeps the legend alive.
The mystery fuels the belief.
Right, people keep searching, hoping to find that one piece of irrefutable evidence.
What about all those blurry photos and grainy videos of Bigfoot lurking in the woods?
Ah, yes, the evidence. Unfortunately, AI analysis has shown that none of them are credible.
Really?
With all the high-resolution cameras and satellite imagery we have today, it's pretty unlikely that a creature that large could stay hidden for so long.
It seems the allure of the unknown is a powerful thing.
It is.
Okay, let's move on to a theory that's both persistent and potentially dangerous. The claim that vaccines cause autism.
This one has been debunked over and over and over again by the scientific community.
Oh, absolutely.
It all started with a fraudulent research paper back in 1998, which has since been retracted, but the damage was done.
It's said that it's still circulating, causing fear and confusion for parents.
It is, but countless studies, many using AI to analyze huge data sets, have found no link whatsoever between vaccines and autism.
It's just not true.
It preys on a very real fear, though. Parents wanting to protect their children, and the idea that a simple vaccine could have such devastating consequences is terrifying.
Yeah, understandable.
But we need to trust the science.
Vaccines are safe, they're effective, and they save lives.
Exactly.
Okay, time for a little fun.
Oh, good.
Is Elvis actually alive?
The king may live on in our hearts and on our playlists, but the evidence strongly suggests that Elvis Presley passed away in 1977.
I know, but what about all those Elvis sightings? Some people are convinced he faked his death to escape fame.
AI's been put to work on this one, too.
Really?
Facial recognition, voice analysis, all used to analyze supposed sightings, and none of them have held up. Sorry, no surprise, comeback concert anytime soon.
So Elvis has officially left the building.
He has.
All right, let's get serious for a moment and talk about a theory with huge implications for our planet. Is climate change a hoax?
This theory, unfortunately, has gained traction, often driven by political or economic agendas rather than science.
Right, but the scientific consensus on climate change is overwhelming. Over 97% of climate scientists agree that it's real and that humans are the cause.
That's right. And AI has been key in analyzing all that climate data. Rising temperatures, melting glaciers, sea levels on the rise. The trends are clear.
It's undeniable.
Denying the reality of climate change will only delay action, and the longer we wait, the worse it gets.
All right, buckle up for this next one. We're entering the realm of the truly bizarre.
Ooh, lay it on me.
Lizard people.
Lizard people.
The theory claims that reptilian humanoids are secretly controlling our governments and institutions. I mean, where do people even come up with this stuff?
It's wild, right? But guess what? AI-driven anomaly detection, which is basically looking for unusual patterns in data, has found no evidence to support the existence of shape-shifting reptilian overlords.
Guess we can rule out a reptilian conspiracy.
Looks like it.
It makes you wonder what drives people to believe in such outlandish ideas.
The human mind is a strange and wonderful thing.
True.
We're always searching for explanations, and sometimes even the most far-fetched explanations can feel comforting.
Okay, let's talk about one last theory for this part of our deep dive. An event shrouded in mystery and speculation.
Okay.
The JFK assassination.
Oh, right.
Was Lee Harvey Oswald really acting alone? Or was there a larger conspiracy at play?
This is a classic example of how incomplete information fuels conspiracy theories.
Right.
The official investigation concluded that Oswald acted alone, but so many people still have doubts.
There are just so many unanswered questions. It's easy to see why this event continues to fascinate and intrigue people.
Absolutely.
So did a lone gunman really kill the president?
Decades of investigations, ballistics analysis, even AI simulations, they all point to the lone gunman theory. But government secrecy surrounding the event, that's a big factor in why people are still suspicious.
It makes sense.
Even with advanced tech like AI, some mysteries may never be fully solved.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. From the moon landing to lizard people, we've explored a range of theories, examining the evidence or lack thereof with the help of AI.
It's been quite a journey.
But there's still so much more to uncover.
Indeed there is.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll delve into the psychology behind why we're so drawn to conspiracy theories in the first place. What is it about the human mind that makes us want to believe, even when the evidence suggests otherwise?
That's a great question. The human mind is a fascinating thing.
It really is. Stay tuned, because we're about to get really deep.
Can't wait. So we've just looked at some of those, the big conspiracy theories out there and how AI can be like a really helpful tool
Absolutely.
in sorting through, what's true and what's not.
Yeah.
But now I think it's time to kind of shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and think about why. Why are we, as humans, so drawn to these theories in the first place?
Right. It's like that feeling you get when you watch a mystery movie, You're always looking for clues.
Yes.
Trying to solve the puzzle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We love that sense of discovery. And I think conspiracy theories often tap into that need we have to understand the world around us.
Yeah. Especially when things feel like out of control or unpredictable.
Totally. Totally. Like they offer us a sense of order, a narrative that explains the things that just don't make sense otherwise.
So it's not just about not having enough information.
Right.
It's about this deeper need to find meaning. Like we're connecting the dots, even if those connections aren't really there.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Take the JFK assassination.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you've got this young, charismatic leader suddenly taken away.
It's shocking. It's tragic.
Exactly, and it leaves this void, right? This sense of unanswered questions, and then boom, you've got these conspiracy theories popping up
To fill that void.
Yeah, offering alternative explanations for people who are just desperate for a more complete picture.
It's like we're trying to solve a puzzle, but some of the pieces are missing.
Yeah.
And so we try to force the pieces we do have together, or we imagine the missing ones.
That's a great analogy.
And then you've got the internet, which has become this breeding ground for these theories.
It's a double-edged sword, right?
It is.
I mean, it's easier than ever to find information, which is great.
Right.
But it's also easier than ever to find information that just confirms our existing beliefs,
Even if those beliefs are based on totally false information or just cherry-picked evidence.
Exactly. It's like falling down a rabbit hole online.
Oh, tell me about it.
You start with one intriguing video or article,
Right.
and suddenly you're surrounded by all these people who share your views, and it just reinforces everything.
Makes it feel even more real, even more believable.
Exactly. And you know what's interesting?
Got it.
There's this AI research that shows that stories that are emotionally charged,
Yeah.
they spread way faster online than just plain factual information.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right. So if a conspiracy theory, it plays on our fears or our hopes, it's going to go viral.
It's going to spread like wildfire.
Exactly.
Like that whole Elvis is still alive thing.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Plays on our nostalgia,
Totally. We want to believe that our idols are immortal.
Right.
Or take climate change as a hoax theory.
Ooh, yeah.
For some people, it's way easier to dismiss all that scientific evidence than to face the uncomfortable truth.
That we need to change, right?
Yeah, that we need to change our lifestyles, our behaviors.
It's scary.
It is. And I think, with a lot of these theories, it's about control.
Control.
Yeah, in a world that feels increasingly complex, overwhelming,
Yeah.
these theories offer us a sense of control. If I can understand the hidden forces at work, then I feel less helpless.
I see. But that feeling of control, it can be an illusion, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's like a false sense of security.
Yeah.
Because clinging to these beliefs, even when the evidence contradicts them, it can actually make us more fearful.
More distrustful.
Exactly. More distrustful of others, of institutions.
It can really isolate us.
It does. It does. It's like we're building walls instead of bridges.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that worries me the most about these conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
It's their potential to, like, erode trust.
Ugh. Yes.
In institutions, in experts, in each other. Like, if we can't agree on basic facts,
Right.
how can we possibly work together to solve these big problems?
That's the million-dollar question.
Like climate change, public health crises.
Yeah. All these things that require us to come together.
Exactly.
And, it's not just about, like, debunking each individual theory.
Right.
It's about fostering this culture of critical thinking.
Oh, I love that.
Right. This commitment to actually seeking the truth.
Truth.
And a willingness to just, like, have respectful dialogue even when we disagree.
Yes, 100%.
So while it's tempting to just, like, dismiss conspiracy theorists as, gullible or whatever,
Yeah.
I think it's important to remember that there are these deeper psychological factors at play.
But it's more complex than that.
Yeah. Way more complex. And understanding those factors, I think it allows us to have, like, more productive conversations,
With empathy.
Yes, with empathy and nuance. Because we need to be addressing not just the theories themselves, but the anxieties, the desires, the things that are driving people towards those beliefs in the first place.
It's like treating the root cause of an illness instead of just the symptom.
Exactly. We need to get to the heart of the matter.
To the source.
Yeah. And look, it's important to remember that not everyone who entertains these ideas is, malicious or even gullible.
Right.
Sometimes people are just curious, right?
Sure.
They're seeking alternative explanations.
Yeah.
And curiosity, that's a good thing.
It drives progress. It drives innovation.
Exactly. It's about channeling that curiosity in a healthy, productive way.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, we need to encourage skepticism.
Skepticism.
But paired with critical thinking.
Okay.
And the ability to actually, like, objectively evaluate evidence.
Right.
And that's where AI can be a real game changer.
In a good way.
In a good way. Not by, silencing people or anything like that, but by providing us with the tools to navigate this crazy information landscape that we're in.
Like giving everyone a toolkit for figuring out what's real and what's not.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. A BS detector, if you will.
I love it.
Right. And media literacy is so important, like teaching people how to spot biases in the media.
Recognize those misinformation tactics.
Exactly. And be, like, savvy consumers of information.
So AI can be this powerful ally in the fight against misinformation.
Sure.
But it's not a magic bullet.
Right.
The real work happens in our minds, in our communities.
Yeah.
In the way we interact with each other, the way we engage with the world around us.
It all comes down to us.
Yeah.
We need to cultivate this culture of intellectual humility,
Humility.
Yeah, like be willing to acknowledge our own biases.
To be wrong.
Yes, to be wrong, and to change our minds when the evidence calls for it.
I love that.
Right. It's like updating your mental software with the latest information. Don't be afraid to learn and grow.
So we've explored the what of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
We've explored the why.
The psychology behind it all.
But now let's talk about the so what.
The consequences.
What are the real world consequences of these beliefs?
Yeah.
And what can we actually do to effectively counter them?
That's the big question.
It is. Let's dive in. Okay, so we've really gone deep down this rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
All these conspiracy theories.
Right.
Moon landing, lizard people, you name it.
It's fascinating stuff.
We even talked about why we're so drawn to these theories.
The psychology of it all.
But now I think it's time to get real,
Yeah.
What are the real world consequences of all this? When these beliefs, they take hold.
Yeah, it's not just about, being wrong or right.
It goes beyond that.
It's about the potential for harm.
Harm, okay.
Like, take the anti-vaccine movement.
Oh.
Driven by that completely debunked theory about vaccines causing autism.
Yeah, that one.
It's led to outbreaks of diseases that we thought we had, like, under control.
Measles, mumps, all that stuff.
Exactly. Diseases that are totally preventable with vaccines.
It's scary to think about.
It is. And it shows us that our beliefs, they have real consequences.
Yeah.
Not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us.
That's a responsibility.
It is. And we see this with climate change denial, too.
Oh, yeah.
People dismissing the science.
It's overwhelming at this point.
It is. It is. But by denying it, we're just delaying action.
And putting the planet at risk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like ignoring a fire alarm because you don't believe there's a fire.
Right, right.
You might get burned.
And then there's the whole trust issue. When people start believing that everyone in power is lying to them,
Manipulating them.
it becomes so difficult to solve any problems together.
Right, because you need trust to function as a society.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, how can we address climate change?
Right.
Or pandemics or inequality if we can't even agree on basic facts?
Yeah, it's like trying to build a house on a foundation of sand.
It's all going to crumble.
Exactly.
But, okay, it's not all doom and gloom, right?
No, not at all.
We've been talking about AI, and it can be this double-edged sword
It can.
used to spread misinformation, but also to combat it.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Imagine, like, algorithms that can spot fake news immediately.
In real time.
Yeah, or fact-check claims instantly.
We even predict how disinformation is going to spread
That would be incredible.
before it even takes hold.
Wow, like a digital immune system for the internet.
That's a great way to put it.
But, I mean, there are ethical considerations, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can't just let AI run wild.
Right, we have to make sure it's being used responsibly.
Not censoring legitimate speech or anything like that.
That's a tough balance.
It is. It is. Finding that sweet spot between protecting people from harm and also making sure we still have, freedom of expression.
We need both.
We do. And it's a challenge that requires everyone to work together.
Technologists, policymakers.
Educators, all of us.
So what can we do as individuals?
Be critical thinkers.
Okay.
Question everything you see and hear.
Especially online.
Especially online.
Don't just take things at face value, especially if it comes from a source that,
That has an agenda.
Right, a history of spreading misinformation.
Yeah, be like a detective.
A detective. Look for clues, inconsistencies, motives.
Oh, like that?
And don't rely on just one source of information.
Check multiple sources.
Yeah, cross-reference, see what the experts are saying.
Do your research.
Do your research, exactly.
And maybe most importantly, be open to changing your mind.
Yes.
If new evidence comes up.
Be willing to be wrong.
It's okay to be wrong.
It is. It's how we learn and grow.
It's like updating our mental software.
Love that analogy. Keep it fresh. Keep it current.
Keep it real, right?
So as we wrap up this deep dive, this journey into the world of conspiracy theories and AI, I think the big takeaway is this. We're living in this age of information overload.
It's true.
It's so easy to get swept away by all the noise, all the misinformation.
The currents are strong.
They are. But we have these powerful tools, technological and mental, to help us navigate it all.
We do.
The choice is ours, really.
To be swept away or to chart our own course.
Guided by reason, by evidence, by a commitment to the truth.
That's the path forward.
And that's what we need to choose.